Denzel Washington is ready to stab Jake Gyllenhaal.
Famous conjoined twins split the internet with a marriage.
But let's start off with Beyonce stirring up the country music industry. Beyonce. Where to start? We all remember her rocking up to the Grammys in full cowboy gear, statement made. Then during the Super Bowl, she drops not one, but two country-infused songs, both of which shoot up the charts because of cowboys and guns. But this isn't just about selling records. Beyonce's latest album, Act 2, Cowboy Carter, is all about reclaiming country music, especially for black artists. She's been working on this for 5 whole years, inspired by an experience where she felt unwelcome in the country scene. And man, did she make a statement. Last month, she topped Billboard's country chart, making history as the first black woman to do so. But here's the thing, she's not just doing country to fit in. Beyonce is saying loud and clear, this isn't a country album, this is a Beyonce album. And you know what? She's absolutely right. She's breaking boundaries, she's challenging stereotypes, and she's making sure everybody knows that country music isn't just for one type of person, it's for all of us. Yeehaw.
Brittany and Abby Hensel's latest response to all the noise on the internet. It's pretty cool. So you remember Brittany and Abby, right? The two conjoined twins who had their own TLC reality series and have been in the spotlight for years. Well, recently, Abby got married to Josh Bowling, and the internet went wild. But you know what the Hensel sisters did? They took it all in stride and posted this awesome TikTok video.
This is a message to all the haters out there.
They basically said, hey, the internet might be loud today, but we've always been here. Their story has been around for ages. They've been featured on The Oprah Winfrey Show and in documentaries like Extraordinary People, The Twins Who Share a Body. The twins control different sides of their shared body and have their own individual personalities. They even have their own hearts, brains, and other organs. It's mind-blowing. After their TLC series, they kind of stepped back from the spotlight to focus on their lives as adults. Despite all the attention, they're just like any other couple. They want some privacy and they want to live their lives without constant scrutiny.
It's unpleasant, so we are not going to dwell on it, but we have to talk about hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs. You have probably heard about the two big searches that went down at some of his homes, one in Los Angeles and the other down in Miami. And let me tell you, these were not social calls. They were looking for evidence to back up some serious, with a capital S, allegations. According to NBC News, 3 women and a man were interviewed by federal officials in Manhattan in relation to this wide-ranging investigation. It includes allegations of sexual assault, solicitation, distribution of illegal drugs and firearms, and sex trafficking. Combs has also recently faced several lawsuits accusing him of sexual misconduct and other wrongdoing. In February, a music producer alleged Combs coerced him to solicit prostitutes and pressured him to have sex with them. But as you might have guessed, Diddy's lawyer is having none of it. He is firing back, saying that his client is innocent and the whole thing's just a big old witch hunt. Of course he is. And to be clear, nobody has been cuffed, nobody has been put on lockdown. So it looks like this story is far from over, but whatever happens, it is a very bad time to be Sean Combs. As the world asks of the crimes he's been accused of, did he do it?
Drama on the set of Euphoria. So apparently HBO hit pause on production for the 3rd season, and it's got fans wondering if it's the end of the road for our beloved show. You won't believe it, but the creator Sam Levinson got caught up in another series called The Idol after finishing up season 2 of Euphoria. And let me tell you, it was a total disaster. Fans were not having it, calling it everything from comically bad to vomit-worthy. Levinson even had to rewrite the whole thing on set, and it still tanked after just 5 episodes. Now with season 3 on the horizon, HBO reportedly scrapped Levinson's script, wanting to jump 5 years ahead in the characters' lives. But here's the kicker. The delay might be the final straw for some of the main cast, like Sydney Sweeney, Zendaya, and Jacob Elordi. Remember how Zendaya renegotiated her contract for a cool $1 million per episode? Well, now that Sweeney and Elordi are big-time stars too, renegotiating their contracts could make the show too pricey for HBO. And let's not forget, Elordi's already eyeing Oscar-worthy roles. Zendaya's busy with Dune and Spider-Man, so fitting Euphoria into her schedule might be tough. And honestly, can you blame them for considering other gigs while they wait around? Fans are not taking to the news well, with some joking that season 3 will happen in a retirement home. But seriously, let's hope they figure things out soon before we lose our favorite show for good.
We are excited to announce that we have American Idol Season 14 Clark Beckham to give a speed recap of this week on Idol. Take it away, Clark.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Clark Beckham, the former runner-up of American Idol in 2015. I got a couple thoughts, and I'm going to break down the last Idol episode in 60 seconds. Here's one of the thoughts. The judges are insane. I don't know how in the world we have world-class superstar artists reducing their critique to just sheer volume of singing. We've got these beautiful singers who come in and do these great auditions, but they're not belting. And the only thing the judges are saying, like, yeah, but can you sing real loud and stuff? Can you imagine Billie Eilish walked into the audition, sang for American Idol, and the judges were like, your voice is spectacular, your songs are great, but man, you really need to get into that fifth gear. Think about Lizzie McAlpine or John Mayer or Taylor Swift coming into American Idol. Right now, the judges would be like, couple people that stood out to me, JC and Mia Matthews, who kind of got torn apart by the judges, were some of my favorite voices of the whole season. Two sisters with gorgeous voices and execution of those voices. Jaina Elise is a returning contestant that comes out and reminds us what a knockdown, drag-out, monster, soulful singer sounds like. Then we've got Julia Gagnon, who has rich, beautiful tone and then gave us one of the prettiest falsetto notes I've ever heard in my life. If you want to catch the full breakdown, you can go to YouTube, Clark Beckham, The Idol Breakdown, and see all the stuff I've got breaking down each episode throughout the whole season. I'll catch you guys next time.
Have you heard the latest theatre buzz? Jake Gyllenhaal and Denzel Washington are teaming up for a Broadway production of Othello in spring 2025. Hot diggity dog. So get this, Denzel is taking on the title role of Othello and Jake is slipping into the shoes of the cunning Iago. No, not the parrot from Aladdin, the scheming little Shakespearean jerk. I can already imagine the intensity of their performances, especially with Kenny Leon directing. You know, the guy who directed Washington before in A Raisin in the Sun and Fences. He's at the helm for this one too. Plus, they're keeping it very hush-hush about which Schubert theatre it's going to open in. It's going to be one heck of a show, that's for sure. I can't wait to see these two legends on stage together. What am I saying? I couldn't afford the tickets even if I tried.
What's Simon Cowell been saying about fatherhood lately? It's actually pretty heartwarming. So he's got his 10-year-old son Eric, right? Well, apparently they've got this awesome bond where they can just talk about anything. Simon recently told Us Magazine how important it is for parents to have open conversations with their kids. He's all about telling Eric, if something's bothering you, talk about it. But you know what's funny? Little Eric doesn't quite get why everyone's always smiling and staring at his dad.
Who's the most handsome?
Who's the most handsome?
Simon told a story about how Eric was puzzled by all the attention, thinking it was all because of him. Kids, right? Even though Simon and his fiancée Lauren aren't planning on expanding their family anytime soon, they're happy as can be with Eric. He's their little buddy, and Simon says life is just better with him around. It's amazing how much having a child can change your perspective on things, isn't it? I gotta say, hearing Simon talk about fatherhood like this is really touching. It's a side we don't always see of him. Makes you realize that behind all the savage comments, he's just a regular dad who adores his son.
You know Punxsutawney Phil, the groundhog guru of predicting the weather?
An early spring is on the way!
Turns out he is not just chilling in his burrow the other 364 days of the year. Nope, he has been a busy, amorous bee, or should I say, busy, amorous groundhog. So get this, Phil and his lady love, Phyllis, have become parents. Yep, they have welcomed two little groundhog babies, who are known as chucklings, adorable, into the world. And guess what? Phil couldn't be more excited. I mean, look at him. The president of the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club, Thomas Dunkel, even had a chat with Phil in groundhogese. Really? Apparently, Phil is over the moon about starting a family. Can you imagine what bedtime stories are like in the Groundhog household? Probably a bit repetitive. But here's the kicker. Phil, the ageless wonder, is rumoured to have sipped on some magic juice called the elixir of life. Yes, that's right. He's supposedly immortal. His wife Phyllis, though, not so lucky. She is not allowed to have any of that elixir, poor thing. Groundhog suffragettes, where are you when we need you? Everyday sexism, am I right? And get this, Phil has been at this weather predicting game since 1887. That puts him in his late 130s. Talk about aging like a fine wine. Bet he's got Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, and Mick Jagger wondering what his secret is. But wait, I hear you desperately cry. What about the kids? Will they have to wait forever for Phil to pass the torch of weather predicting? No, they won't. Dunkel says there will always be only one Phil. So sorry, kiddos. Looks like you're going to have to find your own claim to fame.
Louis Gossett Jr., the legendary actor known for his iconic roles in classics like An Officer and a Gentleman.
No, sir!
You better stop eyeballing me, boy.
And Roots, sadly passed away at the age of 87. His family confirmed the news in a statement asking for privacy during this difficult time. Gossett Jr. was a trailblazer, becoming the first black man to win Best Supporting Actor Oscar for his role in An Officer and a Gentleman. But that's not all he's known for. He starred in some other huge movies like Enemy Mine and Iron Eagle, and let's not forget his Emmy-winning performance in Roots as Fiddler. Gossett Jr. had an incredible career spanning decades from Broadway to the big screen. He leaves behind a legacy of talent and inspiration survived by his sons and nephew. His impact on the entertainment industry will never be forgotten.
Did you hear about the honour being bestowed on Christopher Nolan and his wife Emma Thomas? No, not the Oscar wins, the very many Oscar wins that they had. That was a couple of weeks ago. Get with the times. They are getting knighted and Dame Hooded, respectively. And I think Dame Hooded is a word. After Nolan's Oscar-winning success with Oppenheimer, the UK government decided to honour them both for their contributions to film. I mean, 7 awards at the Oscars isn't enough. The timing of their honours was a bit unexpected. Usually, these kinds of things happen at New Year's or on the King's birthday. But hey, when you sweep the Oscars like they did, special exceptions are made. And the Crown just wanted to let them both know that they're the bomb. Nolan and Thomas are the power couple behind Syncope, the production company responsible for all of Christopher Nolan's blockbuster hits like the Dark Knight trilogy, Inception, Interstellar, and Dunkirk. He does the directing and she does the producing. But who does the dishes? But it's not all celebrations for the Hollywood dynamic duo. Oppenheimer finally premiered in Japan, sparking mixed reactions. Some felt the film didn't fully capture the horror of nuclear weapons, especially from the perspective of Hiroshima. Others even criticized the Barbenheimer marketing fiasco. Interestingly, Takashi Yamazaki, director of Godzilla -1, an excellent film, hinted at making a Japanese response to Oppenheimer. Nolan seemed pretty open to the idea, which could lead to some very intriguing cinematic dialogue. Overall, it's a roller coaster of news for Nolan and Thomas. From prestigious honours to controversial premieres, they are definitely making waves in the film world.
We here at Talent Recap love to discover new talent. So we are introducing a new segment called Internet's Got Talent. Meet Mason Olshavsky.
They can kick dirt in your face.
I personally found him on TikTok and thought he had just a tremendous voice and talent. And then I met him and found out not only is he a great guy, but his story is amazing, and I've been a champion of him ever since. Recently, I had the privilege of connecting him with my dear friend, the legendary Tom Salta, composer of Halo, Just Dance, Ghost Recon, The Outlast Trials, and more. He's also worked with Whitney Houston and Cher on her Believe album, as well as the king of R&B, Bobby Brown. Today, their new song and music video, Higher, will release right here on Talent Recap, so here's a quick teaser.
Forgetting that it could fly.
Go check it out and keep your eye out for Mason and his amazing talent. We can't wait to see where he goes.
Here's a story that's sure to tickle your funny bone and leave you wondering how in the world it happened. In Cheshire, England, a woman stumbled upon what she thought was an abandoned baby hedgehog and sprang into action. With kindness in her heart and determination in her step, she whisked the tiny critter off to a local animal hospital, hoping to give it the care it so desperately deserved. But hold on to your hats, because here comes the dramatic M. Night Shyamalan twist. When the veterinarians took a closer look, they discovered that the baby hedgehog was actually a pom-pom from the top of a beanie hat. No. That's right, folks. Our hero had unwittingly rescued a fashionable accessory instead of a spiky little friend. Now, you might think that this tale ends in embarrassment, but no siree. The hospital commended the woman for her good intentions and reminded us all that kindness knows no bounds, even when it's directed at a faux furry friend. So the next time you see something peculiar on the roadside, just remember to look closely before you leap. After all, you never know when you might be rescuing a hedgehog or just a fluffy accessory for your noggin. And finally, let's go over this week's celebrity birthdays. On Saturday, Piers Morgan Let's skip over that one. Saturday, the glorious Celine Dion turns 55.
Sunday, Christopher Walken turns 80.
80 years old.
That was wonderful.
Sorry. On Monday, Logan Paul turns 28 and Susan Boyle turns 62. What a combination.
On Tuesday, the sexy Pedro Pasqual turns 48.
Daddy.
Zaddy.
Wednesday, Nickelodeon star Amanda Bynes turns 37.
And this Thursday, Oppenheimer star and Oscar winner Robert Downey Jr. turns 58.
And on Friday, Happy singer Pharrell Williams turns 50. A happy birthday to each and every one of them.
So Dan, I'm going to go first with the story that shocks me the most.
Yes.
It's the conjoined twins getting married. One of them is getting married, not both of them.
Crazy, yeah.
I don't know how you do that. Look, we're connected. Now you want to do your business, and I'm like right here. What's going on? How do they do that?
And it's always so interesting when you see people who you think you have such a singular life. Mm-hmm. Like nobody else would ever be able to understand what it's like going through life in the same way that you do.
It's intriguing though.
I hope she's a bridesmaid. Otherwise, it's a bit of a shun.
What if she doesn't want her at the wedding?
Yeah.
I mean, it's truly incredible. Like
I'm rescinding your invitation. It's like, what?
How do you do that? But I think it's incredible the life that they're living, and I think that's a thing to me. Like I'm so intrigued by them. I would have so many questions if I could talk to them.
And to have. I mean, it's incredible to have, but such individual lives.
Yeah.
You think so many of the things you think, why, they just do it all together. But to have separate lives in some way is, absolutely incredible. Good luck to them.
Yeah, well, like I told you earlier, one of them has a job, one of them works, and the other one does not, and the other one's married. So it's like, how do you do that?
I'm not sure it entirely makes sense to me, but I'm supportive of it, and I'm supportive of it. Me too. It's wonderful. For me, I'm going to be very selfish today, and I'm going to say that the big news story is that this is the final thing that I will ever film for Talent Recap.
Don't say that.
My goodness, it's the last thing ever. And everybody is really sad today, honestly.
We are.
The
we
tears,
actually are.
Julian, Cassidy, everyone, floods of tears all day. It's been an emotional day. But I would like to say a big thank you to you, Billy.
Thank you
for supporting me in the work that we've done here and for creating such weird stuff with me. Lots and lots of fun. Thank you to Julian. Thank you to Cassidy. Thank you to everybody at Talent Recap. It's been a wonderful journey, lots of wonderful things, and onto pastures new. But
we're going to miss you so much, and I want to thank you also because of the good time. I'm going to get emotional now.
Please do.
We've had some really good times and laughs and just a blast. And I'm going to miss the hair and our talk about our favorite show, The Veep.
Veep. Yeah. And if I could, in that Veep style, say as a final word to you, Billy, you're like Frankenstein's monster if Frankenstein's monster was made entirely of dead dicks. So that's the
inside joke.
That's from Veep. You can look it up. That's Entertainment Recap. Thank you so much for watching for this and the last 2.5 years of stuff. And we'll see you. I won't see you, but Billy will see you next week.
Bye, guys. We love you, Dan.
Papers.